And of course, in the upper right here in the blue for Ultra Esports, their only player, it's Drogo.
Here is opponent in the red, bottom left hand corner. Makes a noise for AqueroN. Spanish player, by the way.
But not Spanishiwa. That was a different player, and he is retired.
Indeed.
And actually, I don't think Spanishiwa was even a Spaniard.
I don't think so. Not 100% sure, but I don't think so.
Someone's rapidly like Googling his name. It's like, oh, we gotta prove these casters wrong. But anyway, AqueroN, quick SCV onto the other side of the map. He's gonna eBay block, and this is something we've seen him do on occasion. It's one of those things that you can do if you say, look, I don't know that I'm necessarily favored against Drogo. I feel a little, he's probably favored a little bit against me, in fact. So I'm just going to do things that are going to try to maybe make him feel uncomfortable. So that is going to be a almost full eBay block. Drogo actually looks like he wants to take his natural at his third, which is something you can get away with maybe on bigger maps, but it also does get complicated because stopping, say, Hellion run-bys, things like that are not the easiest. Now, AqueroN on the other side of the map, AqueroN, he went reactor first off this, and he's going low ground command center off an eBay block. That's ballsy.
Absolutely. I love this from him, actually, playing with the NG-Bay block to try and get some small mileage and then maybe punish later on. And then with a low ground command center showing us and his opponent that he's not afraid to throw down some hands if it comes to that double Reaper to gain that very much needed map control, micro potential. Are we gonna see a Stargate on the other side? Not Twilight Council, no blink. And there's a little bit of a bunker behind this third natural.
Oh, I love this. This is, you said we weren't going to see too much crazy from AqueroN because, oh, well, you know what? In PvP, you can't do too much without really selling the farm. Well, reactoring out Reapers, bunker at the third, eBay block, low ground command center. This is absolutely every little bit of shenanigans that we could ever hope for. And be okay. AqueroN, I love you behind that. Two additional barracks. He's going for 3 racks behind this. You know, fantastic. Well done, AqueroN. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, I do love this. Taking a page out of Bjorn's book. The triple Rex incoming against the Stargate. Here comes the, I think it's the second Oracle? No, it's the first one. To try and get some map control that right now is totally in the hands of the Terran player. And we see these quote-unquote natural from Drogo not getting a lot of mining time.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing natural about this. This is an affront to nature, AqueroN. It's not okay as the Adepts, they run forward. And we don't even see a shield battery going down. You would expect to see a shield battery from Drogo, but he's just going to try to bust the bunker with an Oracle and 4 Adepts, which is an interesting scenario here, where now we will see the SCV go down. So this should be the end of that bunker, but this is such an expensive bust compared to what you would normally see. And the Reapers, they're even going to find their way out just a little bit. One will go down, sure, as the Adepts complete that shade. But one Reaper's still alive. It's going to get a scout in the main base. Energy on the Oracle means it's not going to be as effective on the other side. AqueroN is just so happy about this game state.
Yeah, he's jazzing around with his own style, his own music, the one he's playing. And now with these many Marines, steam halfway through, combo shields halfway through, he's ready to cause quite a little bit of a ruckus once he gets on the map and these Oracle are done with their own energy shenanigans.
Yeah, he's certainly got jazz hands. We can see how fast those jazz hands are moving, but now Oracles into the natural. Drogo went for 3 of them, which does mean you can one-shot Marines. It does mean you can one-shot SCVs, which is always going to be rather nice. This is something that we've seen Hero playing around with, not only in PvC, but also in this matchup on occasion. But AqueroN, this is 3 racks play. Stim is going to be done in less than 30 seconds, and that doesn't feel all that great. We see missile turrets going down. Oracles really won't bust those super quickly. They do a lot of damage, but even still, missile turrets are scary. This push from AqueroN, with the tech choice that Drogo has gone for, it's not going to be an easy hold.
Absolutely not. Infantry weapons, one also halfway through. even if this doesn't deal like an outstanding amount of damage, AqueroN is still going to be in a very good spot with a factor incoming. He's getting the piece of tech behind this once he starts trading something out for this triple Rex play. Revelation are going to keep close track of this army, and the sentries are going to do their best. We do see a very strong army advantage on the side of AqueroN, and not in supply, in straight sheer power.
Ooh, I do like this though. A stasis trap on the right side, bunch of force fields on the left. It's really hard for AqueroN to find his way at the high ground. Okay, well, you know, he's going to make that happen here. One Marine is the only one that's going to trigger that stasis trap. But DreamHack is actually doing a very good job of sandbagging this. His army is not super valuable. It's adept sentry for the most part with some oracles. But that's a great army, actually, against a lot of Marines. Adepts, they do bonus damage to light. They kill Marines fairly decently. Of course, it takes 3 Adepts to one-shot. But for now, with all these force fields, with the danger of segmenting that army out, looks like AqueroN not really going to be able to find his way onto the high ground just now. But of course, we have a starport on the way and 5 Rex behind this one. AqueroN has no desires to take this game late. He is going all in one way or the other. But look at those force fields. Oh, he's going to trap so many. So what are the targets? What can AqueroN get as the Guardian Shield? So many force fields. Drogo just caught that army looking. It caught it sleeping, actually. That was so bad for the young Spaniard.
Yeah, name something that feels illegal, even if it isn't illegal. Those force fields on an unaware army, that was brutal on the Terran. And all the fancy stuff we were talking about came down crumbling in the blink of an eye. Beautiful play from Drogo, and now with blinking coming, it's gonna be much harder for AqueroN to get something done on the map.
Now that it will be. But Blink's not here just yet. Ooh, Marines, they're going to snap down Oracle. That's nice. And they're going to get a second here. So map control solidly in the favor of AqueroN right now. Drogo adding on those additional gateways, making sure that he can hold on to the next push. But AqueroN, +2 armor, about halfway done, a little less. He's got a Ghost Academy on the way behind this. And it feels like we're going to see the boys getting pulled. I can't guarantee that. SCV pulls are not nearly as common as they once were, but I don't know. I got a feeling in the back of my head, Akon, where we're gonna see 3 ghosts, 2-3 ghosts pop out. SCVs getting pulled with these medevacs, and just it's a 2-base all in. But for now, AqueroN active on the map here, just trying to knock down pylons, remove the vision of Drogo. But Drogo has Blink Stun charges on the way. This army that he's building is kind of designed to deal with the army that AqueroN is making. Well, assuming we ignore the ghosts, but other than that, designed to deal with the army that AqueroN's making.
Yeah, the ghosts are gonna be like the most important piece of this, like 100%. Those EMPs have to be perfect, especially with a shockwave upgrade, because if it comes to what we expect, and that is an all-in with the boys, here they go, we're not gonna have shockwave, and that EMP, it's in a much smaller area. Let's see if AqueroN is able to cut it.
Yeah, we're going to see AqueroN here doing what he can. Yes, he does have energy, so he doesn't have to avoid stimming as much as you might otherwise have. But still, it's only 3 medevacs worth of healing. You're going to try to avoid that as long as you can. But here comes the army stimming on into this 3rd base. It's a big flank coming in from Drogo from both sides. But this army's not all that good there, Akon. Not really big at all. Certainly when you segment off part of it. So the bio comes stimming on in. Even so, it's a 20 army supply lead right now into what we can call the 3rd base, because the natural is somewhere else. SCV starting to fall, but not too many of them just yet. No disruptors in this army. Force fields right now. It means these Marines, they're going to get saved by the medevacs. And in all fairness, we're starting to see the supplies start to equalize just a little bit. Drogo's doing an excellent job of sandbagging this out. The SCVs are starting to fall here, and it's really hard for AqueroN to find his way onto the high ground. Sentries force field in, and again, we're going to see the bio get medevaced on out of here. The natural's dead, but we have to remember, it doesn't matter whether the natural goes down. The boys have been pulled from AqueroN. Looks like he maybe has a little bit mining back at home. Yeah, SCV's in the main. That's about it. The Zealots are preventing the natural from even staying down and dropping mules, dropping scans. So AqueroN, at the very least, he needs to knock this down. Yeah, we're going to call it the natural. Needs to knock this natural down. Stalkers will rotate onto the other side. EPs are nice, but as you said, they're not big.
He's now trying to tunnel these Marines in the middle of all these Stalkers, which are trying to instead backtrack behind this and go into the main base. It does look like a recall is issued over here. That Disruptor might never see the light of day, so let's get recalled. AqueroN moves out for the time being, But we see already a big reaction with the 4th Nexus from Drogo already out there. A Templar Archive is incoming, plus 2 ground weapons finished. I think AqueroN dealt a lot of damage. I think AqueroN is in a decent spot. This is not the game-ending damage he was looking for. Game is still very much alive.
This is a weird. It almost feels like this game equalized. We have 8 SCVs still with the army. So we look at this, you say effective mining 19 SCVs to about 33 workers. But mules are there, and certainly the zealots have been forced out of the natural. EMP is on top of the sentries. The bio looking to stem forward. Force fields are going to be nice for now, as most of the rest of these SCVs do go down, but still it is a 20 army supply lead. Upgrade parity here. Sentries, they continue to fall, AqueroN. But we're going to see an Archon go down here right now, but they're not ready just yet. Even then, Archons against Ghosts are really not the best thing. So we're going to see the bio stimming in here. Actually, wait, yeah, it looks like AqueroN has broken his opponent. It was scary for a moment. It felt like he was not able to get enough, but 20 more probes fall. All the Archons, they die before they can even be born, and this army of Drogo really does not exist anymore. The 3rd base, the natural, whatever we want to call it, it is broken. We're going to see the pylons go down. Zealots run in ever so slowly to their doom. Yeah, they get a Widow Mine, but it does not really matter at the end of the day. There's 2 Zealots, again, forcing the natural to lift. And actually, that's going to be a dead supply depot, but the supplies are so low for both sides, it does not really matter. You mentioned Drogo. He has the 4th base. He's not mining from it. It's just a mana battery at this point. And 39 army supply to 9. Drogo, he's got to be kicking himself in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that fight, taking the fight away from the shield batteries, allowing AqueroN to steam onto those shield batteries without sentries to force field them out. It does feel like it was a little bit of a wrong decision on the side of the Protoss player, taking what possibly could be one of the worst fights you can ever take in that situation. And that feels very rough, because that game wasn't in that bad. The game wasn't in that bad of a spot. But right now, I don't know what is going to happen.
We got to point out here, medevacs really don't have a lot of energy, so stims do stick for right now. And do we have Storm?
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't have Storm. That's just feedback looking for the medevacs that don't really matter. Zealots, looks like they were dealt with, actually. And, okay, so Drogo, he outblinks the Widow Mine, but now AqueroN, he finds this 4th base. And again, it's not mining, but that was the only thing that Drogo had in his court. AqueroN, he takes game 1.
That was a very good game from AqueroN. Very good decisions in pretty much all of the spots. He lost. Let's remember that this game basically started with him losing almost all of his army, almost his entire army, without trading into anything. I think he killed an Oracle and 2 sentries with the whole of his army, and that is how this game started. One decisive maneuver is all you need in PvT if you play the fight correctly, and that fight was a marvel to watch.
Yeah, I really did feel like that. While that was it was a great start from Drogo. You know, he got so much of that army. Well, it was a great start. It didn't really matter at the end of the day because, well, Drogo did not scout properly. Didn't quite see what was happening. The SCV pull he sought at the last second, and then he did not have disruptors out in time. Certainly no Storm. Becomes a little scary. A little bit difficult for that to happen. But folks, we're going to get into map 2 in just a second. Hardwire will be what we have. We're getting a lot of Hardwire today, aren't we, AqueroN?
Yeah, Hardwire is just a good map. Like, it's the spiritual successor of 1000 Atmospheres. Once 1000 Atmospheres is going to be gone from the map pool, it's going to be very much missed. But Hardwire, it's going to be fine to have Hardwire in the map pool for another while.
Well, I don't know. We saw 7-8 maps get dropped onto the arcade with that were official ESL maps from the Team Liquid TLMC. So fingers crossed. And again, I'm not speaking for ESL here. I don't know, but fingers crossed we got a fancy new map pool after this season of DreamHack. That would be or maybe even before Valencia. I don't know. What I do know is the fact that our game 2 is here now, folks. It's ready. And we're going to do that thing. In the bottom left now. He's down 1 game in this. Oh, sorry. He's up 1 game in this series. I got so convinced that he was going to lose it. But anyways, yeah, that was a close game indeed for CSO Esports. AqueroN.
His opponent in the blue, the French Protoss, he needs 2 in a row. Can he start his comeback here on Hardwire? It is Drogo. Well, PtitDrogo, but still Drogo.
His name always gets me, AqueroN, because I'm like, the little dragon. Great, fantastic. It's like, no. The little pharmacist. Like, okay, sure. Fine.
Covered weirder stuff. It's pretty weird. But I think covered weirder stuff all around.
Well, for AqueroN in this game, he's not taking his foot off the gas. We saw that zany build to start, which was a lot of fun. Big fan. And now he's proxying his Reapers. So we're going to have to see how much he gets done with this. That SC for a second looked like he wanted to build something else. But no, just the proxy Reaper. And it feels like the proxy Reaper has defined TVP over the last several months. It's not always proxied this close. Sometimes it's in the middle of the map. Sometimes it's just a macro-axe. But building that first barracks not in your main base and building a Reaper out of it and forcing the Protoss to guess just how close it is, so whether you need a Zealot or not, has very much defined things. And in this case, Zealot's not going to get made. So the Reaper, it's got a little bit of value. It's got a bit of a value proposition here. And Tech Labs, Marauders coming out. I love AqueroN. AqueroN is my new favorite. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like I may have been a little bit off of my prediction of AqueroN deciding to play it normally. We've seen him play a very good... I don't know if I even want to call it macro game, the one before this, but in a situation in which his early advantage didn't quite cut it due to him losing so much, he was able to make it back with a powerful all-in, with a powerful decision in a pretty much mid-game state. Right now, he plays aggro from the get-go, and that might mean that he's finding himself yet again into a spot of putting pressure onto his opponent without actually losing too much. And I want to see him in that spot. I want to see what he's able to do if he's not on the back foot.
We got to remember here, AqueroN, this is a group that AqueroN can still technically make his way out of. He's not in the best spot, but knocking down Milky Cow certainly helps him out there. So as the Marauders arrive, eventually there's going to be an Oracle out. And Oracle's honestly not even the best against Marauders because, well, Marauders are beefy boys and they got a decent amount of that HP. So we're going to see Hellions fly in. Reaper will die. Or Probe's going to get pulled here. Line him up just a little bit. Takes 3 shots. So it's not going to get much there. Hellion falls. But now these are pretty much undefended Marauders in the natural. These probes will not escape, not easily. And Marauders, they're trying to find a nice position for themselves where they can make sure the surface area is not too strong. Oracle flies in. It does knock one of these Marauders down, but Hellion in the main base now will force the Oracle over there. So 8 workers have died. This is starting to snowball pretty hard, actually. This is a problem. Drogo is not happy about the way things are going. He's going to lose every single probe in the natural. Oracle now out of energy. And as Marauders, actually, he's not making anymore. So this is going to be the extent of that. I do like that. You say, yeah, cut your losses where you can, AqueroN. You've already almost won this game. 10 probes have died. Oracle's not useful at all on the other side. We're going to have to see if maybe Drogo, with this triple Oracle play, he can make something happen on the other side. And more Hellions rally in. So it's going to be an 11th dead probe.
That is exactly what I was talking about before the push even started. I want to see what he's able to make from this situation. He has the worker advantage. He's gonna drop down his own pieces of tech back home. He already has 2 Vikings out. He's reacting to Drogo in a very, very clean way, having the exact counter even before Drogo gets something done on the map. And now he needs another decisive maneuver. He cannot be found again with his pants down, just like game 1. And that's the spot in which this matchup can become very difficult.
I got a question for you, AqueroN, as these Oracles run across. If the protagonist from Skyrim was any 2 units in StarCraft, what would he be?
That's a rough one. Pray tell.
King. Anyway, oh, good win of mine there on the backside. Oracle falls. Phoenix not going to get much of anything here, and yeah, he's 3 Vikings now, but 2 of them are, of course, the Dragonborn. Anyway, this
I
is
didn't
not
see
going to
that
get
coming.
Nearly as much. Sorry?
I didn't see that coming.
Well, I don't expect you to. That was horrible. But okay, Oracle's Phoenix in the natural, but Vikings are here. So again, it's going to be really hard to make anything happen, certainly as long as the Vikings are in position. And Drogo doesn't really land the revelation on the Vikings so we can maneuver around them properly. He's even building, he's going back to triple Oracle. This is dire for the French Protoss.
Yeah, getting a Fern Nexus as well, while AqueroN is getting so much production behind this, and he's ready to get an explosion of units very, very quickly if he decides to go for that decisive maneuver. I just love to say decisive maneuver. I was talking about Drogo needs to do much more. He needs to have a much cleaner scout, drop down those revelations, just like you were saying, to try and maneuver around, because this isn't looking like he can do too much.
Oh no, Widowmine again, another 10 Oracle. You commit to 4 and 2 of them just die to the Widowmines. There's another one that I don't know that Drogo has seen. He's not even going to be able to get his revenge because the Phoenix are here. This game is just disastrous for Drogo. Like, he's trying. He's working really hard at making sure that he's going to be able to find some value, but it just isn't working. And the more he does this, the further he falls behind.
Yeah, we all know Drogo is a really, really moody player. One who can just absolutely stomp every opponent if he's feeling like it. And one who can really fall down to bad thoughts when things start to go somewhat awry. And right now, things are not looking good, and that mood of him might become the final nail in his coffin in this series.
Yeah, I think so. And once again, we have 5 barracks. Do we have a Ghost Academy, actually? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Because AqueroN did, of course, have to commit to more tech to make sure he stayed safe. But again, it is 5 racks before third base. AqueroN, he's snowballing his supply. It's a 30 supply lead as he moves out. And there we go. The boys have been pulled. The boys are, in fact, back in town, even, my friend AqueroN. And this is a hard hold. This is a hard hold for Drogo. He's got an Archon on the way. He would love to have a couple more to just deal with these SCVs, but push happening now. He does not have that much more time. So we're going to have to see what happens. AqueroN, how does Drogo hold this? Well, Stasis Trap on the Widowmine is a decent start.
He fights next to his shield batteries, he doesn't lose Archons, perfect force fields, and that's it. But it's a really rough one. Defense advantage can do something, but I don't see him dealing with this. The tanks are in a perfect spot. Because the first team shield battery overcharge gets used. It looks like AqueroN needs to wait it out a little bit, but decides not to, and he's still forcing it out. The Archons are pretty much in full health, but the tanks are sieged up, and they're pretty much zoning everything away. Phoenix and Oracle is trying to come from the back, but AqueroN has established a very powerful position.
That he has, because I don't really care about your shield battery overcharge. I have tanks. Tanks are rather nice indeed. Looks like Drogo on the backside trying to cut off some forms of reinforcements with just small amounts of stuff here, but the tanks finding their way on in. Bio stimming in as well, and AqueroN, he's doing a fantastic job of just being so patient and how he takes these fights. Now, we're going to see one tank fall. Widowmine shot is actually going to friendly fire a little bit because of the Oracle, but even still, it is a 30 supply lead, 66 army supply, 216. AqueroN, I said it was going to be 2-0, but I think we went the wrong way here. AqueroN, he's got the